By you learning this, you're going to start building your edge to actually outperform anybody. This video is going to go over A to Z on how to sell door to door so that you can skip time and just jump ahead and start to sell deals. I've actually coached hundreds of students on door to door sales from zero to profiting $1,000 a day plus. If you want to be able to make money in door to door, but you can't sit through 5 minutes of this video and actually pay attention, you're probably not going to make it. This is going to cover things like mindset going into door-to-door sales, mindset the buyers are going to have, picking what to sell, how to find an area to knock, what to wear, when to knock, how to plan your day, when you have an area, where do you park, how to knock a door, what to say at the door, how to price jobs, how to close deals, and how to collect the money. So get out a notepad and start taking notes. There's a couple key frameworks that go into the mindset when you're selling. Door to door isn't about making a bunch of money. It's about becoming a confident person. Tom Brady didn't become world class in one season of football. This dude didn't even start in college. This is something that translates into sales. The more you can sit here and practice and go through repetitions, you're teaching yourself to win. You're gonna go through the pitch a lot. And if you don't have directions or a roadmap of where you need to go throughout the pitch, you're going to end up in la la land, whereas you should be going down the focal point and getting the sale. Put work into your craft and start practicing. By you knocking on doors, you are there to make money. You are not there to knock and just spread information. You are there to close a deal and get the job done. One of your friends is hyping up a party to you and they tell you about how awesome it's going to be. There's going to be tons of food, drinks, all of the really cool people that you know are gonna be there. Out of nowhere, they're like, well, yeah, I gotta get going, but it was good chatting with you. I'd be confused. I don't know about you, but I'd be like, are you gonna invite me? What's going on there? This is exactly what is happening in door to door. People go through the entire pitch, they go through all of that awkwardness, and they don't close and make it even more awkward by not inviting people to the party. If you already went through the pitch, you might as well close and let people know, hey, let's get it done. We're already here. Why not? If I told you that there was a slot machine in a gas station, that every time you pulled the handle 50,000 times, it paid out $1 million, you would probably pull that handle with everything in your body until you get paid your $1 million. As soon as you find that machine, you go into it and you're excited. You're like, I'm gonna get all this money. I'm gonna get $1 million. It's gonna be amazing. And you pull the handle and nothing happens. You keep pulling the handle, still nothing, starts yelling at you. Not another door-to-door salesman. Dude, get no soliciting. Can't you read the sign? They start kicking you off of their doorstep. And you just keep pulling the handle all day, and then the next day, and then the day after. And then you're like, you know, I'm getting kind of tired. Like, I'm just going to go do some personal errands. I'll be right back. You go do whatever it is that you want to do. When you go to come back, you're looking at the machine and you're like, I don't know if this is really going to work. In that moment, you decide that you're going to stop pulling the lever. Boom. You just lost faith. And now the game is over. You're going to leave that machine there so that it can sit there and wait for somebody else to keep pulling until it pays out the $1 million. All that matters is that you just go and knock door. It is a numbers game. Now that we understand some of the basics that goes into the seller's mindset, we're able to jump into what we're actually selling. It does not matter what you sell as long as you understand the benefits that come from what you're selling. When you stick to one, this gives you structure so that way then you'll actually be able to progress forward. Instead of trying to fill 10 different solo cups at one time, if you focused and put water into just one cup and filled that cup up to the top and then drank out of that one, you would save so much more time than if you tried drinking a little bit out of 10 different solo cups. Sticking to one thing is the best thing you can do, not only for your framework, but also that the area that you're knocking in. Now, the way that you pick these areas and you find where to go and knock is actually a lot simpler than you think. With this, there is rules and there is exceptions. If you are knocking in Florida or somewhere that's dense like California and you are knocking in a big dense city, what's going to happen is you're going to find these darker pockets like this, and you're also going to find these lighter pockets like this. The ones that you are going to knock that are the good ones with windy roads or gritty are going to be the ones that are darker green. This is where you will find the colleges. This is where you will find the golf courses. And these people are going to have things like tennis courts in their yards. On the flip side of that, we have the rundown ghetto, quote unquote, gritty neighborhoods. These ones don't have anything like that. They usually have like 10 cars out in their driveway. So you want to stay away from those ones. Can you knock them? Yeah. Is your retention going to be that good? Not really. Now, if you're knocking in the suburbs, you'll find the areas like this. You'll find these windy roads. You'll find the people that usually know each other in here. And these are the neighborhoods that you want to be in. With the new developments, you'll usually find them close to those types of areas. So you can see the new developments from further out on the map. Right there, you could see that this one right here is from the map, you can see all the white spots. You see this right here? This one is a lot wider, so you can tell it's a newer development. These are the younger family homes that are usually going to just buy if you're the first person to come through their door. You want to just be mindful. If it's more green, usually there's more monies. Okay, so when you guys are picking an area, there's going to be multiple different ones. You've got these gritty ones, you got the windy roads, you've got new developments, you got golf courses. We have upper class, we have middle class, lower class. In the lower class, these are going to look a little bit more gritty. These are going to look like this, straight lines, straight box cut. And they're going to look kind of janky. If they're near a Chuck E. Cheese or a Dollar Tree, you're likely in the ghetto and you're going to want to get out of that neighborhood. We also have gritty that is like this, but the only difference is there's a university nearby or a golf course. And I don't know what it is about unis, but they always have people that have been there for a while. The next one that you're going to knock, when these roads are windy, the people on opposite sides of the neighborhood will usually know each other. In these new development neighborhoods, these people, they are younger families and they're usually going to buy shit if you're the first one to come to their door with that thing. That's how you're going to pick an area. Again, you're going to set little boundaries like this so that you have little pockets that you know where you're going to be knocking at, and you just stick into there. So I actually use something like Jack of Trades to do this. Really simple. You can DM me if you want to learn more about that. And with that being said, I want you to understand that when you go into an area and you start knocking, if you sit there and say that, oh, this area is bad, this and that, and you make excuses, you're not going to succeed. You're going to bounce around from area to area. What to wear isn't anything crazy. Just don't wear jeans, look professional and clean, and you'll be fine. We want to wear things like polos, blade collars, regular polos. I always wear Lululemon pants or like cargo pants whenever I'm knocking. I never wear jeans, never wear denim. Like if you look cleaner, people will be like, oh, he's here to do a job. The next thing that we're gonna go jump into is how to actually like manage your day and structure your day so you can go sell a bunch of deals. When I'm knocking, I split my day into 4 pieces. The first one is basically the morning knock. This is the setup. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for signs of life. I'm looking for things like garbage cans outside, cars in the driveway, open garages, just all these little things. And I'm knocking those first so that way then I can find people to talk to. If you're not talking to people, you're not gonna be able to sell. The moment that I run out, I'm going back through and I'm circling through again and just knocking signs of life in the morning, the early morning. And I'll try to get a sale in there. And then I'll know that, okay, I have sales here, so I need to get sales where there isn't any. That's what's inside this red circle. So that's what I'm gonna knock the second time. After I've already gone through and tried to get a sale in this like little fucking thing right here, then I'll go back through and just go through every little part of my area. Again, you should have a little chunk that's cut off and you should know where you're knocking at. Basically, by this point, you should be hitting 2 p.m. And that's when you hit halftime and you do the big reset. Clear your mind, just forget about all the rejection and just feel gratitude so that way then you can move forward with your day. I've had days where I gone out and I didn't have a deal before lunch, and then I go into third quarter and fourth quarter and I pull 8 deals out. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I've also had the flip side of that where I go out in the morning and I sell 8 deals before 11 a.m. and I'm just like, oh shit, we sold a lot of deals in the morning. We pull ourselves back into a state of gratitude. If we didn't sell that many, we pull ourselves back into a state of gratitude, because again, all we have to do is keep pulling the lever. We're gonna get paid that $1 million. Going into prime time, now that we know that, we're gonna start using the bandwagon. And the first thing that we're gonna do is we are going to knock near all of our sales. We wanna knock around those first so that way then we can name drop. And this is how you create a massive bandwagon. Just creating social credibility. That's all the bandwagon is. So I'm just going through creating the bandwagon, knocking near my sales, try to get as many deals as possible nearby those. You're gonna have a lot more higher chance of selling people when you're closer to a sale that you already made. On the fourth quarter, this is the evening knock. We just went through, at this point in the day, it's starting to get a little dark and it's like 7:30. It's starting to push the line a little bit. And it doesn't matter that it's getting dark. By now you've had people tell you, yeah, come back later, my husband's gonna be here, or whatever. Now you have a foot in the door so that when you go back, it's not awkward because it's dark. You actually have more credibility because you already talked to somebody there and it's not as weird. This is a different skill that it's gonna take to sell doors in the dark. I've sold deals at 10:30, 11 p.m. at night before, just because we were in competition. Again, this is something that I cover more so in the deeper topics in our community. If you go try to knock fresh doors, you can still do it, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna be a bit more resistance if you do. That's what my day looks like whenever I'm going out and knocking. The pro tip here is don't just stick to the schedule, stick to the area that you're knocking as well. If you sit there and you try to bounce around from area to area, you start making excuses and you start to shoot yourself in the foot, because you can never build momentum in that area and create a massive bandwagon. So before we jump into the actual script and how to actually sell, you guys need to understand what the buyers are thinking before you even go up to the door. The first thing is that confusion kills deals. When you're talking to people, if you're talking about a million different things, yeah, we take care of the windows, but we also do all of the frames, we also do all of the gutters, people are gonna get a little confused. And when they're confused, they're just gonna shut down and be like, yeah, it's okay, I'm good. The easier and simpler you can make it, like if it was a TikTok video that you were watching that's easy to watch, you're gonna get more deals. So you have to be able to memorize the script so you have a guideline and you know exactly where you're at on the pitch, so you can make it as smooth as possible for people to just say yes. The second thing is that there is internal pressure and there's external pressure. With both of these, they both invoke different emotion. External pressure is something when people are telling you, do the dishes, and you feel like you're being forced to when you were probably gonna do them already. So now most people will feel this standoffish way and they're like, well, I don't really wanna do them anymore, so they retaliate. Internal pressure is almost like when you're up super late at night and you get this rush of energy and you're like, I need to take action now, so that way then I can make my dream life come true. This is internal pressure. Most people know these feelings that I'm talking about. So these are the two different types of emotions that people are gonna feel. Is they're either gonna feel standoffish and push back, or they're gonna feel like, I need to take action now. People are doing something before you knock on their door, and they're gonna wanna get back to that thing. So in order to do that, they're gonna try to shoo you off of their house. This is when they're gonna throw you a smoke screen. All that a smoke screen is a bullshit objection that they're throwing out to get you off of their porch. It's almost like whenever you see a homeless person on a corner. Even if the homeless person's sign said that they're giving out $1 million, the people wouldn't even notice because they're not paying attention. And these are really common. All you have to do is just deflect these and plow them and keep moving through. So I'm giving you guys all this value because I know that eventually you guys are going to scale and you're going to be like, what is the next step? How do I build a sales team so I get people to go out and knock for me? When you guys get to that point, hit me up. That is my bread and butter, and I will teach you guys what it takes to get there. I'm going to show you guys the framework of what it is and the two different types of ways that people say the script, so you can get a better feel and understand what you should be saying and how to say it so you can tailor it. Either you are going to be really traditional and you're going to be sitting there talking like a robot and you're going to be, hey sir, how are you? My name's John. I'm out here with Boom. We're taking care of Amanda, Taryn, Markley, 27 others. It's mainly been for all boom. You lost control. In this version, you're a lot more traditional. There's more eye contact. There's not really any pauses. You're talking a little bit fast because you're worried about what you're going to say next. That's how all of these organizations train all of their sales. When people go door to door, everybody's almost been taught the same way. And I'm not saying to reinvent the wheel here, but if you try to pitch like everybody else, then you're going to basically trigger their sales pattern and they're going to feel like, oh, I've seen this video before, skip. And this is a little bit different than a traditional method that I'm about to teach you, but that's why it works, is because it's not normal the way that you pitch. The biggest difference in the top performers versus the low performers is when they go up to the door and they start to ice break. If you spend 30 or 40 seconds with people when you're knocking, you're likely not going to get a lot of sale. This is how you get rid of a lot of the not interested, so you can continue to buy time on the door. Way that I like to think about the icebreaker, there is a story about a religious group, and it's almost as though there was a ton of them in a competition trying to see who could get the most donations as a whole. The ones that got the most donations had a very interesting strategy. Their whole group had split into two, and there was one group that was the setup and there was one that was the hitter. And basically what would happen is the setup group would walk around an airport and they would look for people who looked like they would donate. And they had these flowers and they would hand those people the flowers. Here is my gift to you. Although the people would try to reject the flower, they gave them the flower and forced them to take it so that they gave them their gift. While as they walk through the airport and they go through TSA or whatever it is, the second group would be looking around, seeing who has the flowers. And once they seen a flower, they're like, hey, I seen that you got the flower. Hey, here, would you mind giving us a donation too? And so many people felt pressure because they received something, so they felt like they had to give something back. When you're ice breaking, you can step in and step out of the pitch by just creating a conversation with people. This allows you to remove pressure. When you remove the pressure, they feel like, oh, this guy gave me something, now I can give him something back. Go to the gym, go to a grocery store, wherever you are, try to spark a conversation off of somebody with something that they are holding or something on their shirt. If they have something that says Irish Mafia on their shirt, dude, are you in the Irish Mafia? They'll be like, what? What are you talking about? Be like, dude, your shirt. And they'll chuckle. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was wearing this. And you can start a conversation off of there. Just teach yourself to start with these icebreakers with random people and you'll be able to notice a direct correlation with the amount of sales that you get on the doors. So you just learned how to ice break, which is really the most important part of the pitch because you're going to do it the most. Then you go into the name drop. Now you're able to build the bandwagon by name dropping and showing, hey, I'm taking care of this person and this person. Now that you've done that, you could say, we're just doing all of this stuff, and show them what you're doing. If you're doing roofing, you're going to step out to the street and show them the roof. If you're doing windows, you pull them, take 2 steps. I'll just show you, show them the windows. If you're doing bugs, pull them out, show them the bugs. If you're, whatever you're doing, show them what you're doing. And then you transition into the back half where you're trying to get them a price. Most times I already know what price I'm going to give them before I even go there. I'm just going around for show. So at this point, once you come back around, you knock on the door again, you're going to stop and ice break, and you're going to walk them through what you do. You're going to re-explain the service, what you're doing, and then you're going to give them the price, maximize and minimize. After that, you're going to hit the golden goose close. This is going to allow people to either buy or initiate the sales wheel. So you're going to get objections throughout the entirety of the pitch. Anything that they say, just hear it as a smokescreen. They just want to get back to what they're doing. So all you do, whatever they say, yeah, that's exactly why I'm here. Perfect, awesome, sweet, cool, great, that's amazing. And you go right back into the pitch. They're super busy. That's exactly why I'm here. I'll be super quick with you. You know, boom, right? And I'll get right back into it. The second part of it that you're gonna get an objection is when you say that you're gonna go around and give them a price. Say, what I'll do for you, I'll go around and get you a price. They either say okay, or they say they object. If they object here, right here, you have to think about you being the homeless person. You're holding the sign that says, I'm giving out $1 million. These people just did not hear you yet. Go back through and you just re-explain what you're doing. And you say something that might seem obvious to you, but the person that is getting it done wouldn't really notice. You know what that thing is for your product, so you'll be able to configure the different things that might be obvious. You should create a list of these things so you can use them as ammo. Once you do that, you're gonna go back through and you're gonna re-close. Like I said, my name's Eric. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. So it's assumptive, it's not aggressive. I'm not saying to bulldoze people and go run around and like force them into it, but you're looking for compliance, not agreeance. If you're sitting there like, yeah, I can get you a price, it takes me like 30 seconds, and you sit there and you wait, people are gonna feel pressure and they're not gonna wanna do it. Whereas if you're laughing and you're like, yeah, it just takes me 30 seconds, I'll be right back, people will be more likely to accept it and let you go around and get a price. After the 4th, sometimes even the 3rd, what I will do, I basically would vault the step of going around and I would go straight into giving them info and then a price. At this point, you ice break. Whether you went through 4 objections and they said no, or they said, okay, go around and get a price, and you re-knocked on the door. You need to ease the tension. Again, you're creating the law of reciprocity. You're gonna give them the flower, so they'll give you back more time. So at this point, you ice break, talk about something that you noticed specific to them. At this point, sometimes they'll throw, how much is it? I'm in a rush, or they'll try to get you to hurry and go quick. You act like you're gonna go fast, but you stay at the exact same pace. Yeah, I'll show you what we're doing. Just take 2 steps real quick. Pull them out. The way we do things is a bit different. Explain the process. Yeah, we sprinkle a dust on the sweeper pole so that way then it removes all the pheromones of all the bugs on the overhang. Whatever the fuck that thing is for you. Then you go into the price. If you call this out, it's usually this much. After that's this much, but because we're here, bada bada. And then you hit the golden goose close. Once we're done, we can take a look around and make sure everything looks awesome. If you skip the golden goose close and you say, did you want to do the inside or just the outside? People will feel pressure right away and they'll like almost backtrack. The biggest thing you can do is say something like this, because then you get a pulse check and you understand, do these people understand what I'm selling? Or do I need to go back through and re-explain a part of the service? If they object, it's a smokescreen. First one that I always do is I basically do what I did in the first time. I treat it as a smokescreen and I repeat the initial offering, what we're doing, and I add something a little bit extra. I don't make it super crazy, but I make it sound cooler. And then I go back through into an assumptive close, and then I either get the sale or they throw another smokescreen. If they throw an objection like, let me get a card, let me think about it. Yeah, absolutely, man. I hear you. The reason I knocked on your door today is because we're already down the street at Amanda's house. And once we're done, whatever the fuck that thing is, right? You guys will hear these responses to objections and you'll be able to overcome them. This is how you loop. It's not so much about what you say, it's about understanding the framework of how to do it.